we're coming to you live from an animal shelter here in the capital called Friendly Coast. And the reason we've chosen this location for agenda this evening is because we all woke up to a terribly tragic video that emerged from Tamil Nadu of a student, a medical student, and the video showed him holding this puppy and then throwing it from a multi-storied building. That video had been doing the rounds on social media. It's a medical student, and now today the outrage has finally had some impact, and the police has arrested and taken some action, registered a case in that. But first, let's just look at that video and how sad it is, because you can see the dog wagging its tail, and then we'll speak to the people who have really taken up this case. We'll talk about the problems that are there in pursuing such cases. Let's take a look at that video. Right, so video that we've seen, I'm just going to... So let me just introduce the people who are really fighting against this kind of cruelty that we've seen in that video. Two of those boys, one who was posing for that camera, the other a medical student. Now, let's just let me just introduce who we have. First of all, we have Sharban Krishna Mission, who is part of the Dog Lovers Association in Chennai. They are the ones who initiated action on this. We have Gauri Mulekhi, who is for the people, for the PFA, also a member of the Animal Welfare Board. We also have the member of Friendly Coast, the shelter that we are at, Sumedha Duggal, and we have Dr. Manilal of PETA, of the Delhi chapter of PETA. First, Shravan, if I can start with you, because all of you are the ones who really made this an issue. Can you tell us what's happened now, and is the police taking your complaint seriously? Shravan? Yeah, can you tell us if the police is taking your complaint seriously?
Yeah,
Yes,
actually the police have been extremely cooperative. From yesterday, we met the commissioner at around 5 o'clock, and he immediately escalated this case to the additional commissioner. And then later on, around 7 o'clock, we could identify the suspect, both the suspects, and then we went to the Kundratur, the local police station over there, and we filed an FIR. At around 1:30 in the night, in fact, we went to the suspect's house, but unfortunately they have been absconding from last night, and the police have been cooperative from the beginning, so they've been helping us throughout.
Now, Shravan, I wanted to ask you, does your group do you come across many of these cases, or is this the first time your group has initiated such kind of action for animal cruelty?
It's not a group. We were 3 individual animal welfare activists. The whole idea was not to be part of any NGO or anything, because we wanted every common man in the city to actually take this issue up seriously, and everyone could actually go file a complaint instead of just going to an NGO. We do come across a lot of issues when it comes to animal abuse and cruelty on a daily basis.
Okay, Gauri Mulekhi, I wanted to ask you there. Shravan seems very confident that the police is going to take action. An important clarification also from them that the boys haven't been arrested just yet, just looking for them, they're on the run. But do you see that in all cases that police takes it seriously?
No, absolutely not. And that's the misfortune. We fail to understand that if an animal has been victimized, it's not just a crime against that creature, it's a crime against society. Because people who inflict unprovoked violence over a creature that cannot retaliate, then they would go do the same thing to a child, maybe a beggar on the street, maybe the women in their home. So it's a tendency of violence, but the police fails to recognize it, and they do not they absolutely do not take action in animal crime cases unless there is a huge amount of public pressure.
One of the things that one actually notices is that maybe it happened all the time before, but social media perhaps has just made it something that we see quite a lot of now, of cruel videos of people having a laugh at the cost of animals. Dr. Manilal, would you say that has social media brought this to the fore? Was this always there? Or has there been a trend in increase in such kind of behavior towards animals?
It was there, and the good job the social media is doing is they bring out these facts now. Now people are more aware of such cruelties happening, and we are getting opportunity to take action against it. Often these cases goes unreported. I mean, unfortunately, we don't have any data on cruelty, the number of cruelty in India, but it goes in lakhs and lakhs in different states. That is what the animal organizations are reporting.
Dr. Manilal just said there's no data of cruelty, but you were telling me you see, because you run this shelter where we are seeing lots of animals being brought in, and you see lots of instances of it. Tell us some of these instances.
Many incidents I can tell you that people are so perverted that they don't spare even a dog, and they are brought in such a condition that even a human being can't even face that. But our doctors are very expert, so they take care of it. But it is not only social media, it is happening everywhere. It is only one out of few times it has come to the notice, but it is happening everywhere.
As a doctor, and you look after all these animals over here, everyone, Shravan, do you know the fate and whether that dog is alive or not? Because a lot of people, the report my colleague was reporting earlier that we don't know how that dog is doing. Do we know now?
Yeah, we don't know because the incident happened 2 weeks back. The video was released on social media only yesterday, but the incident happened 2 weeks back. We actually went to the spot last night to figure out and ask people around do they know anything about the dog, but unfortunately no one knows what happened. So we are assuming either, because it has been thrown down from a 3-storied building, so we assume it is either dead or it must be severely injured somewhere. But we've been trying from last night to try and locate the dog, but unfortunately we haven't. Only when these boys who have committed the crime speak, we would actually know what happened. As of now, both of them are not reachable.
They're both not reachable. Doctor, is there any chance that the little puppy there was shown? It's heartbreaking because you can see the puppy, wagging its tail and everything. Could he have survived that?
It depends, because puppies usually, when they fall down from a staircase anywhere, so mostly they will survive for 1 or 2 days. But if it's more than a week, that means the puppy would have died because of not getting food, anything. But it was to try to look for the puppy, because when they fall down from a top floor, mostly that's going to be fall down and break its ribs or body bones, and it's going to suffer. It's better to go and look at it.
So Gauri Mulekhi, as the expert in this, tell us the trends that we are seeing. I'm told, because the police seems to be pursuing the case over here. So how many such cases do we see? How common is this in India?
Well, this is like a Holocaust. Trust me, this is one isolated case which has kind of caught people's eye. But if you look at the larger picture, every single slaughterhouse in India is violating the law. Every single animal that is being sold in markets is violating the law. Every single state has, its own set of problems. In some places there is stuff like Jallikattu that goes on. In other places it's bull racing. In some other places it's animal sacrifice. It's a Holocaust that's going on. And it's going on because the Indian government has failed to recognize animal crime as a social problem. They have still kept the penalty as low as ₹50. And that is actually encouraging people to commit a crime and get away with it, because it's not even a cognizable offense. One cannot file an FIR under Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act, even if an animal has died due to one's action.
The ₹50 fine, it is the new law.
No, it is the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960.
No, I'm saying
it's never been revised.
But is there a draft that's there which
Well,
Why
there is
type of
there
punishment?
has been a draft since 2010,
Yeah.
but nothing's been done about it.
What does it propose?
The draft proposes higher penalties, and it's been changed from time to time. But there is no set draft that is ready to come to the monsoon session. Even after the Shaktiman thing that happened, and so many other examples. But these are isolated examples. The Holocaust, the industrial cruelty that's happening to animals. For example, billions of hens are kept in tight cages where they cannot even spread their wings. That is cruelty. It may not be a glamorous cruelty that can be reported every day,
Yeah.
but it is cruelty to billions of animals.
Okay.
No penalty.
You were saying imprisonment?
Yes, of course, there is an imprisonment, but then they come back with a bail.
Has anyone ever been imprisoned for
Well,
cruelty?
we figured out the conviction rate of traffic offences in Delhi. 3 people have ever been
By
convicted.
traffic, just to tell our viewers, traffic meaning transporting.
Transport
the,
offences,
yeah.
which are the most common kind of cruelty.
Yeah.
Because India has this thing of warm meat, so all the animals that go to slaughterhouses are transported in extremely cruel manner. Anyway, there have been only 3 convictions in 6 years, and those 3 convicted people walked away with 50 rupees.
Well, you wanted to tell me why you, as someone who just cares, who's an animal volunteer, how that really upset you, that video.
We are volunteers. We put in our time, our hard-earned money, time and effort into trying to keep these animals safe. On the other end, you have these animal cruelty cases that we report to the police or the government, and we don't get any response. It is a dead end after the
What do
cruelty.
you say when you go there?
It is kutte ne kaat liya hoga, or the animal must have misbehaved. That's why they've been treated cruelly. It's a human's word against a voiceless animal,
So I want to
So
ask you this: do you think now that everybody has a cell phone, that is something which is helping these cases? That
Yes.
now you have evidence?
yes,
In some cases.
some cases yes. It's easier to take a
It's still, we are not even
video.
touching industrial cruelty.
Okay.